Look around your office. Find the loudest person complaining about the boss. Now, ask yourself who wound them up. You think you are a soldier, but in the balance sheet of power, you are just the ammunition. Let's start with a crime scene. Monday morning, an empty desk. A cardboard box filled with cheap awards and a stapler. Another troublemaker escorted out of the building. You watch from your cubicle. You feel safe. You feel superior. You think they got fired because they were loud, because they were reckless, because they spoke truth to power. You are wrong, dead wrong. That empty desk isn't a tragedy. It is a successful detonation. That employee was a weapon, a human missile. And if you look closely at the trajectory, if you trace the anger back to its source, you will see a fingerprint. A fingerprint that belongs to someone still sitting in a corner office, someone drinking coffee, someone smiling. This is the reality of the corporate abattoir. Most conflicts aren't accidents. They are engineered. In the East, they call it killing with a borrowed knife. In the West, we call it plausible deniability. It is the third stratagem of power, and it is the primary reason why high performers get fired. You think you have agency. You think your anger is your own. But let me ask you a question. When you storm into a meeting to fight for justice, whose war are you actually fighting? You believe you are the hero of the story. But to the person watching from the shadows, you are just a suicide vest. And suicide vests do not survive the explosion. Today, we dissect the mechanism. We strip away the HR buzzwords. We look at the physics of manipulation. I'm going to show you how a surgeon selects a knife, how they sharpen it with flattery, and how they dispose of it once the cut is made. If you don't know the rules, you aren't a player. You are just the equipment. The surgeon needs a tool, but not just any tool. A dull knife cuts nothing. A coward starts no fires. So, who does the surgeon target? He targets you. The ideal knife has 3 traits. First, competence. You have to be good enough to be taken seriously. Second, ambition. You have to want more. You have to be hungry. But the third trait is the fatal flaw, moral rigidity. The surgeon looks for the person who says, "It is not fair." The person who obsesses over rules. The person who believes in the company mission more than the CEO does. This is not a virtue. In the eyes of a Machiavellian, this is a handle he can grab. He watches you. He sees you working late. He sees you rolling your eyes when the rival manager speaks. He sees your frustration to him. You are a coiled spring, all potential energy, waiting for a direction. He doesn't come to you as a boss. That would be too obvious. He comes as a confidant, a mentor. He invites you for a drink. He closes the door. He lowers his voice. He says, "I shouldn't tell you this, but listen to that phrase. I shouldn't tell you this." That is the sound of the safety being clicked off. He is handing you a secret, a piece of intel about his rival, the tumor he wants removed. He tells you the rival is blocking your promotion. He tells you the rival is stealing your budget. He isn't complaining. He is programming. He is aligning your crosshairs with his target. And you feel special. You feel trusted. You think you've been invited into the inner circle. You haven't. You've just been taken out of the box and placed on the sharpening stone. Now the grooming begins. The surgeon must ensure that when you strike hard. He needs you volatile. He needs you righteous. He uses the most addictive drug in the corporate world. Validation. He tells you that you are the only one who gets it. He calls you a rock star, he says. If only management would listen to people like us. Notice the us. There is no us. There is only him, and there is you. But he builds a phantom alliance. He feeds your ego. He validates your grievances. Every time you complain about the rival, he nods. He sighs. He adds a little more fuel. "You are right," he says. "It is a disaster. But what can I do? My hands are tied. But you have a voice. They respect you." This is the pivot point. He is transferring the responsibility of action onto you. He is framing your reckless aggression as leadership. He is framing your insubordination as courage. You start to feel a sense of duty. A duty to take down the bad guy. A duty to save the department. The surgeon sits back. He stops giving orders. He starts asking questions. What do you think we should do? How long can we tolerate this? He is winding the key in your back. He is testing the tension. He waits for the moment when your anger exceeds your survival instinct, when you stop caring about your paycheck and start caring about winning. That is the moment of radicalization. You are no longer an employee. You are a crusader, and crusaders are willing to die for the cause. The surgeon is counting on it. The meeting starts. The target is there. The tumor. The rival manager. You are ready. You have your talking points. You have the secret intel the surgeon gave you. The surgeon is there. He gives you a subtle nod. You launch. You attack. You bring up the budget errors. You accuse the rival of incompetence. You slam the data on the table. The room goes silent. The tension is unbearable. You feel a rush of adrenaline. You are speaking truth to power. You are the hero. You look to the surgeon for backup. You wait for him to jump in, to say, he is right, but he doesn't. He looks down at his notebook. He looks concerned. He looks surprised. Whoa, he says softly. Let's dial it back a bit. I think we need to be constructive here. Your blood freezes. The room spins. He isn't backing you up. He is de-escalating. He is playing the peacemaker. To the executives in the room, you look unhinged. You look aggressive. You look like a liability. And the surgeon, he looks like the only adult in the room. He has successfully delivered the payload. The damage to the rival is done. The accusations are out there. The doubt is planted. The tumor has been hit. But the fingerprints on the weapon, they are all yours. This is the brilliance of the borrowed knife. The damage is real, but the attacker is disposable. The surgeon has used your reputation to purchase his victory, and the cost to him, 0. The dust settles. The rival manager is damaged, maybe even fired later. Mission accomplished. You expect a reward. You expect a promotion. You expect the surgeon to thank you. Instead, you get a meeting with HR. Why? Because you are now a biohazard. You are radioactive. You proved you could kill. You proved you could be weaponized. And most dangerously, you know where the bodies are buried. A smart surgeon never keeps a bloody knife. It's unsanitary. It links him to the crime. To restore harmony to the team, the surgeon will agree that your behavior was unacceptable. He will say, "It's a shame, great potential." But a bad culture fit. He will sign your termination papers with the same pen he used to take notes during your meltdown. This is the double kill. The surgeon removes the rival, and he removes the witness. The system returns to homeostasis. The surgeon looks like a strong leader who cleaned up a toxic department. He removed the incompetent rival and the aggressive employee. He is the savior, and you are walking to your car with a cardboard box, replaying the events in your head, wondering how you were so right, yet ended up so wrong. You were depleted uranium, dense, effective, and toxic to the touch once used. You served your purpose, and now you are waste. So, how do you survive? How do you spot the surgeon before he picks you up? You need a filter, a mechanism to test reality. I call it the cosine test. When a manager or a colleague tries to wind you up, when they give you secret intel, when they encourage you to attack, you pause. You do not get angry. You do not get excited. You get bureaucratic, you say this. That sounds serious. Send me an email outlining these points, and I will bring it up. Watch their face. Watch the shadow pass over their eyes. A surgeon will never put his fingerprints on the weapon. He will recoil. He will say, "No, let's keep this informal. I don't want to make a scene." That is your answer. If they won't sign it, you don't say it. If they won't document it, it isn't real. Refuse to be the proxy. Play dumb, be dull. I don't see what you mean, you say. I think the rival is doing a fine job. The surgeon will drop you instantly. He can't use a dull knife. He will move on to the next ambitious idiot. Let him. Your goal is not to be a hero. Your goal is to be the player at the table, not the chip on the board. Stay cold, stay clean, and never, ever let someone else pull your trigger.